and we are live once again for another Train Sim World 4 session. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Well, it's beautiful now, at least in London. It was not beautiful about an hour and a half ago or so. But now the sun is out, and hopefully that'll be reflective um, of today's stream. So, yeah, without much further ado, let's get into it. As you can tell by the title, today we've got something a little bit different. Train announcements. Not that we're announcing a new route or a new train, but we're simply referring to in-train announcements that you would hear while traveling on any of the services that we'll do today. Now, it's not every route that has these. It's not every route that has these announcements, but it's a fair few, including my Spessart barn, which I will be starting with, unless of course we have any other requests. It's a bit all over the place this afternoon. Thankfully, we've managed to start on time though. Let's whiten me up a little bit, shall we? Because I'm pretty yellow. Not yellow, I'm kind of red. It's more red. Oh, that's a nice, cool color. It looks really nice. Okay, and I guess we'll start. Now, we had a pretty good stream yesterday. A fair few requests were coming in. And so hopefully you who requested a particular route yesterday will be present again today. Nope. Kind of not. Okay. There you go. That's better. All right, yeah, so as I was saying, I hope those who requested a stream yesterday will be present today so that we can tend to your requests. We've got our content list up now, so we'll be good to go. Should I? Probably does look better without this, and I mean, I don't mind having the mic in, but preferably not the arm as well, right? So yeah, hopefully levels are okay. Let's see what my stream sounds like. Perfect. Almost like we've done this before, isn't it? Right, so let's bring the mic a little bit higher. That's better. And let's kick it off with some Mind Spessart barn. So I've got to kind of like manage. So let's see. So we've pretty much, I think I've got everything now for Mind Spessart barn installed. We ended on Heigenbrücken to Aschaffenburg, which is there. We've got Gemanden to Law, which these are pretty short, to be honest. I think we do Aschaffenburg to Gemanden, don't we? Which is like the main run, basically. And I think mostly these are just shorter services. Well, I guess they could be express services as well. I wonder if they have those variations. That would be pretty cool if they do. And that's the last of it. Alrighty. So now we should have announcements, train announcements for every service available to drive on Mein Spessart barn. Cool. And we still got we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different routes that have train announcements. So if let's see.
Sehr geehrte Fahrgäste, herzlich willkommen bei DB Regio.
Lovely. What I like as well, now I don't know if this is accurate to real life, but alongside the German announcements, as in German, in Deutsch, we also have English straight afterwards. Now I don't know if that's accurate to real life or whether that's just something to accommodate, you know, the game, or the fact that it's a game. But regardless, it's pretty cool. It's cool regardless. So let's see how much that adds. We've still got 4 scenarios on this route alone to complete. But let us go into journey mode as we do. And let's see. Now I've got some keybinds set. Hopefully I manage those properly. So we've got Gemünden to Aschaffenburg. So let's load that one up. I'm just unsure whether it's like it's an RB, an RE, an or whatever. Oh, is this freight? Okay, well it's freight, so we're not gonna need any announcements. Very well. Let's put into forward. Let's put the wipers on. Let's turn those lights off and get our cab lights activated. Let's get
RFB,
CFAR also activated.
RFB.
And take that up to 40 kilometers. There we go. It's very strange how it moves on the screen. So we're back on the old school 185 with no LZB. Headlights reduced. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. It's very dark, isn't it, without the cab light, so we'll leave it on. Brakes are released. Let's give the contactor a ring and see if we can get through this signal. We cannot at this moment in time, so we'll apply the brakes at the first level. So we've got a double header. We've got another 185 behind us. So I guess we're going on the uphill gradient. It's quite a long formation here. You can see why we're gonna need 2 of those 185s. Wow. It's actually very reminiscent of the formations we get for US freight. This is one of the longest ones I've seen for a German route. So it should just be a quiet, straightforward run. Yep, straight to Aschaffenburg. Siding 106 to be precise. Alright. Put her into a little over 50%. Should be fine to move without any issues with wheel slip.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
Once again, I'm not sure what the exact rules are with what types of yellows you should acknowledge, which ones you should just leave be. So I just hit all of them, and that way we play it safe. If we get one we're not meant to get, then nothing happens. And then if we get one that we're meant to get, it's all happy days. But then if I try and play it a bit risky and then I do ignore the ones that I think aren't relevant, then we have to deal with the emergency stop. Well, not even just emergency stop, the brakes come on. You have to wait till the train slides to a stop because we're currently on ice. Then clear the alarm that would have been ringing from the very beginning. That can be absolutely deafening at times. Then wait for the brakes to release across the formation. We've got a long one right now. And then we start going again very, very slowly. So, yeah. I will happily exert a little more energy, a little more force in hitting acknowledge at every single instance to avoid those, 2 or 3 minutes in total of misery. Which I think is a pretty accurate way of describing it. I really do wish I had a second monitor. I really, really do wish one. I have a feeling I'm going to get one. Well, we're in March now, aren't we? I have a feeling we'll get one this month. So usually we'd be streaming. So I like having Train Sim World on a consistent basis, as in, so I stream 5 days a week, but out of the 5 days, I've only got 3 days. Probably should get a move on here, isn't it? Out of the 5 days, there's only 3 days that are back to back, which are Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. So usually I plan for those to be my Train Sim World days, as that's what's most popular on the live streams. And then play around with the other days. At the moment, I've got Euro Truck in mind, whether that's just single player, going from country to country, or multiplayer, which I don't know. I don't really have as much fun with it. There's the fun potential in multiplayer is higher than single player, but what usually tends to happen is that I just run empty after time. You know, I'd like a bit more chaos, and usually the chaos is restricted to certain areas in Germany, not even the whole Germany. You got Duisburg, you got Calais, you got Dover, those sort of transfer points and busy cities. But then across the map, it's usually pretty quiet. And on top of that as well, I usually stream at a time when it's not necessarily quiet, but compared to the numbers that you'll see during the evenings, it's almost like half the player base, you know, so it's tricky. So with single player, everything much orderly. I can drive realistically, which I'd rather do. It's a lot more immersive because of all the traffic, you know. So for me, I think I just prefer doing single player. But maybe if I had people to convoy with, maybe if I was part of a trucking company, it would give me a bit more motivation to be more involved with multiplayer. But right now, there's not really a catalyst for that. And then so that would be a Saturday, and then nothing on Sunday. Then on Monday again, something unusual, maybe more Euro Truck, maybe. I don't think Fortnite is a great idea, because although that's a game I'd like to play, the only way I'll have people watching the live stream is if you are already familiar with the channel, if you're familiar with me and you've come to hang out. But I'm not going to get people who have come for Fortnite, and it wouldn't make sense to anyway, because I would only do that 1 day a week. And I think it has to be some sort of special at the game to not only get but also keep an audience for a game I only play one time a week. So far, by the way, we've had a 100% streak on FIFA. It's a good day, and it will continue to be a good day. So yeah, it's very possible that I'll just stream more Train Sim mode like I've done today, you know, on Saturdays and Mondays. But I think I'm definitely just going to be more flexible.
Zwangsbremsung. SIFA.
I don't know why it's forcing me to slow down when I was... Did it hit emergency brakes on me? Because that should have only slowed me down a little bit, and then the brakes should have released. I don't know why the brakes have remained on. That's really annoying, man. The brakes shouldn't have remained on. Also, a bit of another reason why not having the classic card sucks a little bit. I've turned traction lock on, but for some reason it won't show me yet. So I sort of have to guess when traction lock is on. I don't have any indicator for it. I mean, I'll change it to hidden, and maybe it's backwards, and it will show me now that I've selected it to be hidden. I don't know, but either way, it should have been something that was appearing. And like yesterday, for example, with the Dosto when this route is bugged, so that when you apply the brakes, even if the throttle is off as you're applying the brakes, you need to hey Nabil, welcome, man. I'm outside, so I can't watch your stream. Fair enough, man. Isn't there a way to, like, apparently, I'm not sure how it works, but apparently there's a way to just listen to the stream and not watch. Now, obviously, this isn't a just chatting stream, so maybe I'll be talking for a while and then I'll be quiet for a while. But at least if you're watching it, you will have something to watch while I'm quiet. But regardless, I've been streaming and then I've had people come and watch, and there'll be an icon next to their names, and when you hover over the icon, it's like an eye with like an eye that's been crossed out, and then when you hover over it, it tells you that this person is on listen only mode or something like that, which I didn't even know was a thing, and I still don't know how you activate it. Maybe it's a phone only thing. But yeah, one way or another on Twitch, at least, it's possible to just listen without watching. But yeah, you're welcome, man. It's good to see you, my bro. What was I saying? Yeah, so the Dosto, you need to take the traction off, so like apply traction, then put it back to off, and then apply it again, and you'll be free to do whatever. So something like that, you just have to know, because clearly the HUD isn't much help for something like that. But yeah, that was a little bit annoying. Also, I find annoying is that after all these years, we still don't have a correct distance marker for the objective marker. Signal distance and distance to anything else works perfectly fine. But for your objective marker, it measures it as a straight line from wherever you are, so it doesn't count the rails or any turns or twists. So on something like Sand Patch Grid, which is very mountainous, and you're constantly, snaking around the mountain, and same like with Sherman Hill or Cajon Pass, all of these routes, the objective marker distance will be going up and down, down and up and down, down and up, because you're getting further. If you're going by as the crow flies, you're getting further away from it and then closer and then further and then closer. But obviously, if you're measuring it by as you should do, taking the turns into account, you should just have a number from the beginning, and all it does is go down and go down and go down. And I don't understand why after what 5 years or so, 6 years, they still haven't sorted that out. I remember Matt took note of it maybe 3 years ago, and then I haven't heard anything about it since. Let's try not to engage that. I don't know what the English term would be for. German seem to have a word for every single thing. Like, not necessarily just particular words, but they have words for situations, or they have words for a very specific thing. So I don't even know half of these things on PZB what the English translation would be, other than, oh, this means that this is wrong, or this means that you should do this. But there's no exact word that it would translate to. Very odd. Very, very odd. I've been planning, I need to do my review video, man. I just haven't been able to. I need to do it at a time when it's going to be quiet at home, and preferably I'll be alone in my room, so that I can just lock in, record. It's not even going to be too long. It might just be 5-6 minutes too long, which is why it's frustrating that I haven't been able to do it yet. And I guess maybe tonight, man. But even tonight, I'm going to have a time limit, because maybe I'll get back at like between 10 and 11 at best case scenario. I get in at between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. tonight, and I can hopefully fit at that time. I'd have loved to have done it already. You know what? I'm really rocking this new playlist. I don't think it's lo-fi. I think it's maybe something very close to it. But I love it. It's a vibe. And I don't know what the song was that we ended on yesterday, but I liked that one in particular. And it was just so perfect that was the song that the stream ended on as well. It just fit so perfectly. I'm aware that something like Epidemic Sounds also have a selection there, but I don't know if it'll be worth it at this point. It's worth it for sound effects. Like if I was a role player, it would be good. I guess technically I am, kind of. However, or just music in general, Spotify playlist seems to be doing the job. And if it wasn't Spotify playlist, then it would be YouTube. So yeah, I don't really want to pay for something that doesn't really need paying for. Also, I haven't checked my Discord in a while. I think I should have some messages. Yeah, I asked Nabil to message me on Discord, and I completely forgot about it. I'd love to live stream on TikTok. I feel like I could really reach an audience, get a new audience over on TikTok. But you need 1,000 followers. And getting 1,000 followers is a myth, man. The thing is, unless your content is number one, very good in whatever it will be, or not even necessarily very good, very attractive. Something can be attractive and it might not be good, and something can be good and it won't be attractive. But as long as the content is attractive, you have followers. I think on YouTube, you can watch a video. Let's say, okay, cool. So on TikTok, 90% of the videos I've uploaded in the last week have hit over 1,000. One over 3,000. Pardon me. Which, if we were now to translate those numbers, not even translate, but just take those numbers and apply them to my YouTube videos, I would have gained a lot more than, I think it's 11 followers. I think I've gained about 11 followers in the past week. I think I would have gained a lot more subscribers with those numbers in that same space of time. And I just think it's a little bit ridiculous putting that sort of limit or that sort of restriction on live streaming. And then also things like donations. I guess, okay, cool. If you're a creator, it motivates you to keep growing and keep grinding and keep using the platform, which is obviously what TikTok wants you to do. But to restrict things like donations, gifts, live streaming to people who have hit a certain threshold, I don't personally really understand that. But I guess it's apparent which way TikTok are going. Obviously, everything is a business. Every corporation, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, whatever you want to call it, TikTok, they're all businesses. So all of them have profit as their priority. But for something like a YouTube, at least Google knows how to at least make you feel like we're helping you. You know, at least they make you feel at least we're giving you the opportunity to grow. Whereas with TikTok, I think they're quite firm in letting you know that, hey, we want you to grind out our platform. We want you to only pay attention to our platform. We want you to exert all efforts only on our platform. And then you get some benefits from doing that. Which I guess makes sense. That's literally like TikTok's essence and the DNA. Like, I haven't forgotten all the news that they were in with the spyware, and then how the US were going to ban them. I haven't forgotten that. So, you know, but yeah, at the end of the day, no one really cares. I need to branch out to probably Threads, Twitter. You can stream on Twitter, but I think you need to pay as well. So that's awkward. But I think I need to widen my social media presence. I need to get back on TikTok. No, sorry, I need to get back on Twitter. Although I do have a Twitter account, I just don't use it. But I need to get back on that actively. Probably create a Threads account. Be active on Instagram again. Go back on Instagram. And just open a doorway, man. Because I already have a plan to move everything that I've got on TikTok to Instagram. So the content is there, it's ready to go. It's just a matter of actually making that move. But I think regardless of what platform I'm on, what platform I use, I think it's pretty important to nail down something. So even though I've got over 1,000 subscribers now, how many of the subscribers are active? Not many. Right now we've got one person on the stream on YouTube, and that's myself. So technically nobody else other than you right now is watching me. that's not a following. Those are not fans. Those are not. I can't make an announcement that, hey, guys, I've made an Instagram, go follow it. Guys, I've made a Threads account, I'm back on Twitter, go follow them. Nothing will happen. So I think building a solid base is also important. So then, cool. Maybe it's not going to be 10,000 people that follow me off the jump on Instagram, but we have 100 or even 50 to start us off. So then my channel starts to get a bit of recognition on the algorithm, and they can start saying to the people that follow those people, hey, this your friend's following LWD, maybe you should follow him as well. Because right now, regardless of what platform I use, we're coming up from the bottom. So yeah, I also find it really interesting that after my live streams are over, both on Twitch and YouTube, when my live streams are over, people watch them. I find that really strange. If you're one of those people that is watching this, well, I've got no one watching me right now live, so if you're watching this, you're going to be one of the people that I'm speaking about. If you're one of them, feel free to let me know, like, if I guess it's obviously a thing, but why? I guess, do you prefer VODs over regular YouTube content? Because I feel like the streams are even more popular. I'm talking after they've been posted, after I finish streaming, they end up being more popular than sometimes than like my actual YouTube videos, which to me doesn't make any sense. But I guess someone like me, I like to watch things from start to finish as well. I can't really leave things halfway, although I guess on a live stream would be different because there's not a very specific structure to it like you'd find in a video. But yeah, with a video, obviously that's within a certain time frame, a short one. I can watch it from start to finish. It's one topic, boom. I can jump into a live stream while it's live, hang around for a bit, and then get off. But I can't watch a VOD. Actually, so you know what? No, you know what? Let me go back. Actually, not long after lockdown, there was a streamer who I was a big fan of, and his streams, he was a role player, and so obviously the characters that he uses have a story, and I was really invested in the story of his character and how they were developing, and so I didn't want to miss anything. And so for his streams and his VODs, I would actually watch them to make sure I didn't miss anything. But even that I found a little bit tough. I guess also this is something that you could have in the background if you're mildly interested in trains and are happy to just have some rail sounds in the background with me talking. I guess that's also a thing as well. Ironically, I do that sometimes with normal videos. If I'm getting dressed or if I'm in the shower or whatever it may be, and it's not a podcast I'm listening to, it would just be a regular video, which kind of defeats the purpose because, short form, or not short form necessarily, but short form compared to live stream videos, tend to be something that you need to be visually paying attention to as well as audibly paying attention to. So it's an odd one. I'm drinking a lot of water, and I'm gonna end up needing the toilet. I'm very happy to be used to the minimal HUD now, and it's like light work basically now to use it. we're definitely gonna have to acknowledge that 43 limit, whether it's through a signal or just a sign like we have right there.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Starting to learn my way around. We're gonna have to bring it all the way down to 50 kilometers though. I don't think we're braking fast enough. Very hard on the brakes, but it's necessary.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Accurately slowing down a heavy freight train, I think, regardless of what country you're in, will always be ahead of a task. Because I feel like there's a very thin line, for example, in that situation there, between slowing down enough to, you know, to go according to the speed limit that PZB has set, that you're restricted to, but also not to slow down too much at the same time as well. Our frames aren't necessarily having the best time in the world. There always seems to be particular areas, which I guess does make sense. So I think we're only about 4 or 5 runs away now from driving a 204, which will be a first for me. I'm just hoping I can count on the introduction to correctly address everything that needs addressing and inform me of everything that I would need to know. A lot of the time I find what gets me out of a situation with a loco is common sense and trial and error, more so than correct documentation or a manual. Bring back manuals, man. Even to this day, right? Manuals are the equivalent of, you know, when you were younger and you'd buy a game, let's say for a PlayStation 2. Whenever you'd buy a game for PlayStation 2, you'd open it up, you'd have the CD on the right and then a booklet on the left. The booklet would be a manual, it'd be a description of the game. It would just be game related, but it was very, very, very fun. And the excitement that brought alone, the build up to playing the game itself was crazy, man. Like that can do so, like I know for a fact that would still be the case today. If there was a route coming out with a manual, and we do have them every now and then, we had one recently. Yeah, the excitement that would build, it would stomp on whatever pre-release stream Dovetail would release. I honestly think that. You get to read about the trains, their functions, their features, the route, some route history, some facts about the route, some interesting locations. But that's passion. And when you don't have passion and your only focus is money, 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 something like that, dedicating time to something like that becomes nothing more than a money pit for you now, because you're constantly paying people to create those, and you don't want that because you want as much money as possible. He's done the brakes again. Oh, that's frustrating. I don't know why it hits the brakes so aggressively. I don't know why it does that. I don't know why it needs to bring a train to a stop. Slow me down like it normally does so we can continue our way. I mean, I guess cool, fair enough. Yes, I'll just keep an eye on it, but this is not a regular operation, man. Jesus Christ. I hate coming to a stop like this on a freight train. It's just such a long process to get going again, man. Now we wait for all the freight, all the air to release, so we can start moving again at 1 mile an hour. How frustrating. How frustrating, man. I do wish there was a feature that lets you see the air pressure across the train. Surely something like that exists, right? It can't just be guesswork. Whether it's German trains, UK or US, or anything else that we might see for that matter. Hey, hi Asma, how are you doing, man? You don't need to apologize, my friend. You don't need to apologize. How are you doing? You are very welcome to the stream once again today. I'm doing great, thank you for asking. I'm happy to hear that, man. I'm happy to hear that. It's a beautiful day today. Well, I'm saying that, and I'm seeing more and more clouds. But yeah, let's try and stay positive. I hope it doesn't rain, man. I'm gonna have to be out there tonight. Fingers crossed. Prayers up. I think I'm addicted to these energy drinks. Let me put them out of sight. Out of sight and hopefully out of mind. Alright, we've got a hefty gradient coming up. Let's get the brakes on. We are on Main Spessart Bahn, a classic Train Sim World 2 route today, heading from Gemünden to Aschaffenburg, carrying a lot of freights, a lot of freight. A very heavy train. Well, we've got 2 locos. And I keep forgetting to turn banking com on. Seems to be a regular thing of mine. The thing is, I've only just recently learned that we have banking com on this route, on this train. I thought that was a strictly US only thing, to be very honest. Someone needs to release a banking comms mods for Clinchfield. I cannot believe Dovetail just didn't do it. They just missed out. They just missed it. That's mind-blowing. So certain incompetencies have been around for a while. But I think it's just a lot more exaggerated now that the player base has grown, more content's been released, and they've been consistent sometimes in that. But that's quite a juxtaposition in it. They've been somewhat consistent in incompetencies alongside their third-party partners. Because I don't remember it being a huge thing that we didn't have banking comms. It was something that was brought up every now and then, but it was never like a major major issue.
Sifa.
Where you on the IC3 route? No, not yet, highest man, not yet. I've been waiting for the request to come in. So I have like a thing that I'm doing personally where I'm starting from like, I'm going from the routes. I'm doing the routes in order. I'm doing the journey modes on all of them in order. So right now I'm on my special barn. Then I'm going to finish the journey mode for this and then move on to the next route. So that's how. So when I don't get any requests or anything like that, I just play that way. And it's almost like a career mode in that sense. But you did ask for Köln Aachen yesterday, didn't you? So we'll do that next. So let me actually let me wait for Sifa to do his thing, and then I will add it to my list that you see on the top left. There you go. So we'll do that next. So is it the ITE3 that you want me to run, Matt, or any other, or is there any other service that you want us to run? It's a shame that the timetable update for that route is delayed. I haven't played that route since Train Sim World 2. It was actually the first ever route I ever played on this game, and I've never gone back to it. ICE3, cool, let's do that then. That train on that route is pretty much autopilot. I remember setting LZB on, even though I had no idea where LZB was. I had no idea where anything did. I didn't play with PZB because I just didn't understand it. No, actually, I would turn PZB on, but then I wouldn't have a clue like what I'm doing. I wouldn't have a clue what's going on, and all I know is that the train keeps stopping. Why, I don't know. And then a German guy is shouting at me in German. So it will be nice now to go back to it with a bit more wisdom and a bit more maturity, and see how we run the route then. To be fair, I do have some journey modes that I need to do on that route. The new Journeys DLC that was released. So I finished the journey that came with the route, I believe. It's just now the DLC one. But I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if I go back and I see that there's no progress, because the routes that came with Train Sim World 3, all three of them, I've lost all my progress. When I moved over to Train Sim World 4, I don't know what I did wrong, but I somehow lost all my progress. And that was a shame. We are not slowing down fast enough. We are not slowing down fast enough. We are right on the limit.
Zugbeeinflussung.
So journeys. So forget about the DLC part. Usually with the routes, you have timetable modes where you're free to do any time, any train, and just run the timetable. Journey mode is a mixture of scenarios that come with the routes and selected timetable runs. How they select them, I don't know, because some of them are just normal timetable runs, but nonetheless, they've taken a small portion out of the timetable, added some scenarios on top, and that's your journey mode basically. With me, I like structure. I like, you know how in games you have like a career mode. So because Train Sim World doesn't give you a career mode, Journeys is like the closest that we can get to that. I'll show you anyway once this is over, and maybe it will help explain better. Oh, okay, because when I saw it, I was really confused. Yeah, it's just a mixture of timetable and some timetable runs and scenarios. And then the DLC, the Journey's DLC is like a new journey mode. But it only came for 3 routes, which were the routes that came with Train Sim World 2. So Bakerloo Line, Sandpatch Grade, and Köln Aachen. So that added some new scenarios and again some more timetable runs. So I think it would be worth a look at the new Journeys DLC and seeing what we can pick from there for Köln. Or Cologne in English. I don't understand why this camera likes making me orange. Like, it's obsessed with making me red. No matter what I do with my lighting, I'm gonna end up like a tangerine. Which I know, yes, tangerines are orange, but that's basically what I look like. Yeah, to be fair, it's not like a state-of-the-art camera. It's a very basic webcam. I don't think I ever planned to use it for streaming. I just had it knocking around for like Zoom meetings and stuff like that. I think if I was to invest in a camera for streaming and, you know, YouTube and whatnot, it would have to be a proper camera, which are not cheap. So yeah, I feel like I've got something that does the job. It does what I need it to do. You guys can see me, and it's not horrible. It's 1080p. It could be one of those 720p ones, which are not great. So yeah, it does the job. I don't think it would be the wisest financial decision to break the bank for a... I can't slow down in time. We're not slowing down at all. We weren't slowing down at all. Please slow down in time. Just about. Hopefully I don't need to crawl right up to the light. Okay. Alright, beautiful. We accepted this. Lovely. Let's move on to... Let me actually go ahead quickly and just make a post on the forums. I'm going to shill myself. No, not edit. Let's share. Copy the link. All right. All right. So, what's the route? What was it called? Okay, yeah. I guess Superbahn sounds like... Oh, are these just 423 runs? I guess they are. And I guess this obviously is just free with the 187. All right, cool. Well, I guess then we'll just do like regular timetable runs then. We'll use the new Journeys expansion, of course. This isn't original. This isn't official, is it? The back on track livery. I'm yet to see the press logo in action on any route. The 182. I remember the 182's journey modes were a little bit abysmal. Where's off? I see. Holy moly, there's a lot of layers on here. Right, let's look for maybe something like a midday run. Yeah, I think I just downloaded that from Train Sim Community. Hi, Asmat. Let's do this one. Or shall we do try for like a rush hour-y thing, which we don't really have. Eh. Let's do this one. No dynamic weather because it's gonna end up raining by force. I'd rather not have that.
Türen geöffnet. Störung.
Hey, I've driven this recently.
Zugbeeinflussung. WD gesperrt. WD gesperrt.
I don't know why, but I have the whole speech, the startup speech, just embedded in my brain, and I don't know what any of it means. So yeah, when I first started out playing the game, I turned all of those on, and just not have a clue like what I've done, except that it's realistic. How many DLCs do I have? However many DLCs there are for the game, Hayasma. I don't know how many exactly. All in all, I think there's like 80 something. Like when Train Sim World 4 was installed, and all the DLCs were installed in one by one because it was a bit messed up on Steam on release day. I think it was 80 something. So now it should be 90 something, I think. So however many DLCs there are, that would be how many I have. Where's our lights? No need for cab lights. Oh, I remember this. So yeah, you put this on the last. Oh right, you select it here.
RFB.
And then for. What was one for train lights? So that for... I think it was that one for passenger lights. 95 DLCs, then yeah, that's how many I have. I've got everything basically. I've got every DLC. It'd be very hard to do request stream, and it'd be awkward if somebody asks for something I don't have. All right. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. We might be on something here. Oh no, do I not have audio train announcements for... I thought there were train announcements for this route. Maybe I'm mistaken. All right, never mind. All right, let's get moving then. Yeah, that was part of the reason why when I stopped getting DLCs for a while, I pretty much altogether stopped streaming Train Sim World.
Zifa.
And I imagine having all videos, he's like, wow, in my mind. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's not cheap. So I know all of them are worth what you pay. Seafood's a lot trickier to spot here than it is on some other locos. It reminds me of the 111 in certain lighting conditions. I love the variety of locos here though. Actually, you know what? It's actually pretty bright when it turns on. Maybe I just wasn't really paying attention to it. I'll tell you what though, I definitely do miss this route. It's been a while. It's been a very long while. About 2 years. 2 years? It's been 3 or 3.5. I believe LZB's got us from here, so it's pretty much kick back, relax, until we get to Aachen. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I do try with these names sometimes. If it's one that there's just no way, I'll say it. I know when I've reached my limits. Also, I don't think I've experienced this route at 4K 60 FPS, so this is almost like a new, kind of like a new experience, I guess. Yesterday I asked you what's your favorite route, and now what's your favorite train? Maybe the 465. The 465 from Southeastern High Speed. That one sticks out to me. I don't think I have one in particular that I'm crazy about. And maybe because there are trains that I've never driven. So it's possible that there's a train in the game that I haven't driven that I would prefer. But right now, out of the ones that I've played with, yeah, I think it's the 465. I do wish Sifa was on a 60-second timer than a 30-second one. Then I guess that would not be very German. I remember with this train, not this train, but the ICE one that's on, I think it's the ICE one, right? That's on SKW. That train, you would just put AFB up, the accelerator to 100%, LZB on, and AFB, and leave PZB off, leave CFA off, and you could let that train run, and you can go and have your dinner, go outside and have a good time, go to sleep. Whenever you finish all of that, you come back and a train would have finished the scenario for you, or finished the run for you. That's what I used to do. I used to set it and then go and have lunch. It's on this train too. Yeah, it's literally what we're using right now. So like if I turn CFA off, but the only thing is though, with this one, you have to control the train manually at the beginning and at the end. Whereas if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. But and it wasn't just the ICE on that route, it was also some of the freight locos as well. I don't remember which ones exactly. But whatever freight locos on that route also had LZB. So from the beginning, from the get-go, you just set what you need to set, and Bob's your uncle. This is when I wish I had like a high refresh rate monitor. This is when I wish I had like 144 Hz or 240. Because I do feel a sense of speed because of the FOV. but I wish there was a bit more. Oh, that's a nice livery. We are going fast, aren't we? You know, sometimes I'll get mods from Train Sim community because they sound cool. I just don't know what they are though. Until one time I'll be playing and I'll be like, oh, that looks cool. Just like the livery of the 101. Yeah, sure. We can do that. It is a little bit loud, isn't it? I've just seen the levels. That should be better, I think. Let me know if it's still too loud or if it's now too quiet. Amazing. I do wish there was a way to get a rail driver locally, because it's quite extortionately priced as it is, and then to add shipping costs on top of it would just be ridiculous. I need to have a look. Probably check on eBay or something of the sort. Can't say I've ever seen them at any of these shops that sell used things. I think this one looks... Let me wait to see if it's a pop up. I think this route looks a lot better. Looks better because here there are stations you pass that are for slower trains. That's cool looking, but 920 costs nothing. Yeah, it gives it more a sense of life, like there's things going on. I still haven't played LGV, but if it's just... But then it kind of makes sense because I think that was built entirely for high-speed running. You get routes like that in every country, I guess. But yeah, this one is nice because you have on the left-hand side the local trains and the local stoppers, and on these two tracks you have the high-speed stuff and the freight stuff, I believe. I can't even keep up with the camera, and this camera is fast. I wanted to get ahead and then do like a passing shot. I guess it would be possible to speed up the the camera using God mode. Did you get my promo code on Epic? Yeah, I literally just saw it this morning in a bill. Sorry, man, I completely forgot. I had a busy evening yesterday. But yeah, I've added you. You said you found me, right? So yeah, whenever I find the time to get it cracking on some Fortnite, then we can sort that out. It's something I wouldn't have mind like doing on stream, but like it would be something I'd only stream 1 day a week, which wouldn't really make sense. Do you have a mod for the lighting because they are a bit more glowy? Yeah, I got mods for like general lighting, and then there's also a mod specifically for the signals, so the signal lights will look different as well. This thing slows your train down perfectly. A real driver couldn't, man. I'm sorry, a real driver could not do what LZB does. Another ICE. You know, I've never really thought about what ICE stands for, and I just realized it's probably Intercity Express, isn't it? I've never really thought about it. Love seeing the 423s about. Those are also very nice trains to drive. Very, very nice. Right, so I believe we are off AFB right now. I think 160 is 99 miles per hour. $170? Or do I have to turn the power off and then back on again? There's a way that you get going again. Okay, yes, it's an AFB. Yeah, AFB down to 0 and then on again. That was how you did it. Do you like the game more with or without motion blur? I think with motion blur to give you that sense of speed. I know a lot of people don't like it, and I had it off myself, and I turned it off on other games. But I feel like something like racing, or maybe not racing actually, but something like this, I think it's acceptable to give you a sense of speed. But I would want it in a racing game because you then start losing details that you need. I like the feel of going fast. I think if it started interfering with being able to read signals or signs, then I would turn it off. Let me just make sure I've got it turned on. I believe I do. Where would it be? Screen? Yeah, it's on. Me personally, I like motion blur because when I turn it off, my game feels laggy, so with it was more smooth. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. You get more of a sense of smoothness and speed. I think I'm pretty content with it. I know some games will give you different settings, different levels of motion blur. So maybe there's a better setting that I'm just not aware of, but I'm pretty content with this. I'm not from France, no. Born and bred in the UK, but my parents are from Morocco. Okay, because I'm pretty content with it. I don't think any of that is French. You mean, yeah. What did you get from that made you think I was French? Is it because if I wasn't content with it, you'd expect me to be protesting? That's not a shot either. I love the energy that the French people have. They will not settle for rubbish. If we had that over here, life would be a lot better than it is. What's 75 miles an hour in kilometers? 110, I think, or 120. I love the brakes on here as well. It's very smooth and very effective. What did I miss? Ah, how did I, was this yellow? What did I miss? I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure what I missed. The word content, I just don't know how to write it in English. And content, or however it is, means happy. Ah, so there's the same word in French that has a different meaning. Now it makes sense. No, content just means like you're satisfied. You're like, yeah, it kind of does mean, yeah, you're happy with it. Doesn't mean like it doesn't mean you're excited, but it's like, yeah, you're satisfied. Yeah, it's a very pretty route. It's a very good route. All the routes that came with Train Sim World 2 were very good, in my opinion. Quality in general was a lot better back in these days than sort of what we get to see nowadays and in Train Sim World 3. Like eventually things get to a good level, but this was nice from the get-go. And so were a majority of the routes back then. The only thing that I remember just being a bit of a disaster was rapid transit because of the bugs that were in it. Hello, that locomotive guy. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing this fine Saturday afternoon? That's good, man. I'm glad to hear that.
Zifa. Zifa.
Do we send in route ideas? You are very, very welcome to do so, locomotive guy. That's always like the main theme of my streams, unless there's something very specific going on, which is most likely just usually a release day stream for a route or a DLC. The theme is usually you send any requests, anything you want to see. We've got everything here, so you're free to request absolutely whatever it is that you want to see.
Zifa. Zifa.
I really need to sharpen up on my kilometers to miles measurements. Only whichever route in the game. Yeah, so it's got to be something that's in Train Sim World 4. Something that's in Train Sim World 4. If it gets requested from enough different people, I'd be happy to start doing Train Sim Classic streams as well, and sort of, depending on what people want to see, change between the two. But it's not really a popular request, and to be honest, there's probably people that stream Train Sim Classic already. I actually don't know. I haven't checked. But if I get requested enough times, I can do that. East Coast or Brighton Main Line? Let's do the Brighton Main Line because I haven't played that since I've added in the Class 700 onto the timetable. So we'll do the Brighton Main Line. That's also I've got a little soft spot for it as well, if I'm being totally honest. Once again, you know what? I was thinking about that earlier today. I was thinking the same with me. If I'm watching someone stream, like, let's say someone's streaming sim racing, for example. Even though I've been away from sim racing for quite a decent period of time now, it instantly makes me want to go back to it. So I know the feeling. To be fair, even just talking about Train Sim Classic, it's not a game that I play regularly, but just talking about it and just having it play on my mind a little bit, it is making me consider re-downloading it. We are going to have to come to a stop a little way outside Aachen.
Zifa. Zifa.
I have TSW4, however I bought TSW2 Connected Edition as it will work better with my older generation console. I've been having the troubles with TSW4. Also, there are certain bugs and issues that started to show their face in Train Sim World 3 and 4 that you won't have to deal with, locomotive guy.
Zifa. Zifa.
We have got a ton of trains here and they are tanking my frames. Not a ton of trains. Actually, no, you know what? We've got a decent stabling here. Jesus. Wow, okay. That's good to see. Head to the forums, locomotive guy, for all the details. I can't tell you exactly what they are, but I know there are a good few. that even up to now, some people will go back only for certain routes and certain runs. Most of them are just red light bugs where you'll be on a run and there'll be a red light in front of you or in front of an AI service that just won't move, that won't change, sorry, or you have an AI train that won't budge. It will just be at a station with the doors open, and a lot of these issues went in Train Sim World 2. Where's the phone for this? Oh, right here. And as well as good quality textures and then fried frame rates. Yeah, I guess that's just because of like the new lighting and certain routes having extra layers. Obviously, it all depends on console, but generally, the consensus is from people that unless you have a high-end console or a high-end PC, a lot of routes run better on Train Sim World 2. The Train Sim World 2 routes, that is, obviously. I think there's a run on Tees Valley line, one of the scenarios, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. The scary thing is, and I read a little something about this yesterday, and it's very true. We get updates and patches for certain DLC and for certain things in those DLCs. And then you'll find that a route from 3 years ago has developed a bug from that patch. It's very strange. What app is that? Do you mean what game this is? I can't pronounce your name. Jean? This is Train Sim World 4. If that was what you meant. Correct me if I'm wrong. I had this issue with the freight service on the East Coast Mail Line as there was a red signal when budge on as I approached it. Some very heavy braking and triggered another bug. That's not the only problem I've heard on that route. On one of my scenario videos for that route, someone said that on a scenario that I had obviously finished and uploaded, someone had experienced a bug. It might even be that same bug. I don't remember if it was a freight. Actually, maybe I don't think it was, because it wasn't a freight service, which is worse, to be blunt. But yeah, it looks like the East Coast Main Line is starting to have all sorts of different bugs pop up on it, and rear their ugly heads. And for some reason, LGV for me is running at 60 by an East Coast Main Line. Even if I'm at the middle of nothing, my frames are like 40 with the same settings. Yeah, that's also a thing as well. It really does depend on what route you run. Some routes will run better than others. Like Brighton Main Line, Victoria Station, for a lot of people, was abysmal. Even though other routes would run completely fine because of how heavy it was. Where I couldn't move my train. Yeah, I think that was yeah. Like sometimes it's just a matter of maybe a lack of like knowledge of the train, which I've always said to myself when I've encountered an issue. Maybe it's just me. But sometimes it is the game being the game. We had East Coast as a request, didn't we? East Coast way. Maybe I should make sure we stop at a signal before I add it onto the list. Yeah, to be fair, locomotive guy, when it's like that, usually there's not another workaround. If it's like a scenario that you really want to finish, if you're on PC, you can get God modes and you can bypass the objectives that way. But if you're like on a console, for example, then unfortunately there's not really another way around it. Goodness me, that's lagging all over the place. Give me one moment, let me update the list. We do have train announcements for East Coastway, so we can finally put these announcements to use. What mods do I recommend using? All of them. Honestly, all of them. For me, I like realism, so I like mods that are realistic. So if there's mods that, because you can have mods that bring in formations or substitutions that aren't true to life, I tend to stay away from them. But as long as it's created to enhance the game and give a more realistic experience, I download it. I'm running so many, it's ridiculous. The only time I won't install a mod is if it in the description says this is a fictional something something. For East Coastway, do you guys want to see the 377 or the 313? Or is there not a preference? I love that little sound at the very end. Like everything's spooling down after running at 250 Ks. 377, alright, cool. I feel like there should be a bit, quite a bit more bug splatter. I guess we've got quite a few bug splatters on the sides. Surprisingly, not many, unless the lightens. We've got a little bit, yeah. Or the 313 would be cool. We could do both. We could do a 377 run followed by a 313. Got some trains all the way over there as well. Stabled away. We've got a 1146 with Dostos. I've got quite a few mods for East Coastway as well, so I'm in some route enhancement mods. We've got the announcements. I like that. That was pretty enjoyable. I'm always gonna have a place, a special. There's always gonna be a special place in my heart for that route. I gotta go now. All right then, locomotive guy. Thank you for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. Do you think that this is one of them? Where it's busier, I would say. I mean, fairly so. I mean, you saw how many locos we had at those sidings. At either end, either station, we had quite a few trains as well. It's fairly busy. Not obviously the busiest, but fairly busy. All right, I forgot we were doing Brighton Main Line, not Not East Coast way. What was it called again? London Commuter. So what do you guys want to see? These are all the locos we have that we can run on here. We've got the 313, 3759, 3774, 3872, the class 700 0 and the class 700 1, the 166 and the 66 as well. Are there any preferences? Otherwise, I might just take the class 700 because I'm yet to actually drive that. 377, we can do 377. Let's do that. Pardon me. Turn off dynamic weather. Although that wouldn't be a completely unrealistic thing if it was to rain. All right, this I was looking for. London Victoria to Brighton. But wait, why does it say London Victoria to East Croydon there? That's not right. All right, there we go. Slow day. It's a slow day for Train Sim World. All right, I don't think we've got announcements for Brighton Main Line. No. All right, the frames are interesting to say the least. I think that's usually it, really, isn't it, in terms of setup? And of course, oh, we've glitched outside the station. I'd love to see that. And another bug on the East Coast Main Line is that when it's raining and you speed up in the class 801, the rain just won't be dropping on the front window. It won't show up. Yeah, that's actually a thing that's not just limited to the 801, unfortunately. A very full Victoria. Not really a surprise though, is it? I think every platform is taken up pretty much. Love the variety though, of course. They could have at least done the McDonald's here. There's a McDonald's I've ate at before. I think it's here. It would be here. They could have done a little bit more. Although this is pretty accurate. I won't even lie. Okay. Somewhat accurate. They've tried. They have tried. There should be an entrance to the station somewhere there as well. On the 395 is the same bug. Yeah, see? Oh, this is done better, I guess. But yeah, there's quite a lot of benches and whatnot in the middle to sit down, and there's like a bank somewhere here. There's toilets. Yeah, they've done an okay job. All right, we are now departing to Brighton. Hello, Scott. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well today. Sorry, but I have to go. I'll see if I can return. No worries, hi, Asmat, man. Do what you gotta do, my friend. If you come back, I'll see you then. If not, I'm sure I'll see you another day. And if I don't see you again today, I hope you have a good day, mate, and you take care of yourself. There is Batty Power Station. Very close to my old workplace. We've got a couple trains racing out of Victoria this morning. I used to go over this bridge every single, well, not every single morning, 6 days a week I used to go over that bridge. And you, in the winter, in the early winter, you'd get the most beautiful sunrises looking towards the west side. At like 6:45 in the morning, something like that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunrises. I'm the best YouTuber, thank you. I don't know if many would agree, but thank you. I do appreciate the kind words. Thank you, Scott. Actually, to be fair, hold on. No, is it back here? No, never mind. I think we've long passed it. You actually are. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Why is that? What's your reasoning for me being the best YouTuber? What do I do well? And what do I not do well? I'm always open to constructive criticism. Even if it's not constructive, feel free to criticize. It's all helpful one way or another. I wish we had more trains that served Clapham Junction, man. I really do. What's my favorite train? Right now, out of the ones that I've driven, I would say the 465. But it's possible that there are others that I might like, that I just haven't driven yet. How about you, Scott? What's your favorite train, mate? I like the 465 because of the way it sounds. I love the sound, both in-game and IRL. And I also love the way it drives. It's very smooth. And I just like the way it looks. The Class 801. Yeah, that's a very nice train as well. Very nice train. Very modern. Very, it feels very comfortable. If that makes sense. So yeah, that's a pretty good shout as well. Oh, we've got some couple geezers here. Discussing their plans for the weekend's delays.
Please note that services are subject to delay because of the failure of line-side equipment near Norwood Junction. Every effort is being made to restore services to normal as quickly as possible. Please listen for further announcements.
The Class A4, that's the Steam logo, right? If I'm not mistaken. There have been a couple Steam rail tours this morning, but it was too late. They're very expensive. There was one that departed from Euston this morning, and one I believe that departed King's Cross. I don't recall exactly what locomotives they were, but I can recall the ticket prices. Very, very expensive. Kind of restricts the experience a little bit. Thank you, Scott. Do the West Somerset Railway with Flying Scotsman. I shall do that straight after this one. That will be our next, I'll add down to the list. Although time is being fast spent, to be honest. West Somerset Railway. Let me try it out properly. You're welcome, man. That might be the last request for today, though, because we've got about 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so for this route, and we're finishing the stream off at 5. So there'll be time for the Flying Scotsman, and then we'll call it there. If I remember how to even drive that loco, it's been a while. I think we'll be alright, though. Who requested this route? It was either Hayasmat or Locomotive Guy. One of them. Both of which are gone now. The stream was requested and then they went off. But I do like this route though. I haven't run it in a while. I don't think I've run it since it came out. No, since when Train Sim Mod 3 came out, I stopped playing this route and I haven't played it since. Right now, from what I'm seeing, yeah, it's just you and I. It's just you here. I had that happen yesterday as well. I had someone, I don't remember who it was. They requested a route, I started playing it, and then they left. I do hope we get to see some Class 700s on here. We should do. Is Croydon, as per usual, very heavy on the frame rate. I'm kind of watching F1. Yesterday, qualifying, isn't it? Man, my history of F1, yeah. So when I was younger, I used to watch it every weekend. Every weekend I'm watching F1. In the Michael Schumacher days. Michael Schumacher days. And then the season that Hamilton came into Formula 1, I started working. I was 16 at the time. No, I was 18 at the time. No. I don't remember. I just remember I started working around then. And that's me. Oh my god, look at the frames. Oh my god. Oh my words. I didn't want to go to emergency there. Let's move forward to the end of the platform. Okay, let's give the brakes whatever they need. No, it's the race today because it's Ramadan. Ah, okay. Where are they racing at then? It has to be an Arab country, right? Oh yeah, makes sense. But wait, what has a day got to do with it? If they're fasting, they'll be fasting today, they'll be fasting tomorrow, or does Ramadan start tomorrow? Verstappen's winning. Oh, boring. You know what? I was a bit of a hater when it came to Verstappen, but I've learned when you sort of see him like racing, like in sim racing, or when you see him in other disciplines, you kind of just have to appreciate the guy he is. Like, yes, it's boring, but then so was Hamilton winning it season after season, and you couldn't really hate Hamilton because it was his skill, his quality. And yes, Verstappen has been dirty a couple of times, and I'll never forgive him for what he did a couple of years back to Hamilton. But he does possess an insane amount of skill, man. And it's like almost like you want to hate him, but it's very hard to. But yeah, what he did to Hamilton, I can't forgive him for that one, man. That was disgusting. But yeah, anyway, before my sneeze and my frame rate distracted me, so I used to watch it, and then I stopped watching it once Hamilton came in. Even though, like, I knew, okay, yeah, I'm gonna support Hamilton now because Schumacher had, I think, left that season, and then I started going. Basically, my Sundays started to get taken up by something else, and then I didn't watch F1 for 7 years, and then I watched it last season. Like, I watched every single race last season, but then I just felt like, I don't know, as much as I can enjoy it, I don't love it enough to take time away from something else and give it to that. My time is very, 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 very scarce, man. I wish I had time to watch Formula One. I really do. But it's tough, man. And it's the same for football as well. I wish I had the time to watch footy. But I think that's probably better for my mental health that I'm not watching football right now. You and me should be best friends, trains and F1. You know what? I even had F1 22 on here. And I was meant to do the career mode with a friend of mine who, for some reason, suddenly out of nowhere really got into F1, and this guy was never interested in racing. I've known him my whole life. He's never been interested in racing, or racing games for that matter. Anything to do with cars racing, it was never his thing. And then out of nowhere, he just suddenly started to really like F1. So I was like, you know what, mate? Cool. You have F1, I'll buy it, and then we can do the career mode together. Guess what? I bought it, and we never did the career mode. So I played the whole season of F2. I did the whole Formula 2 season. Got into Formula 1. I think I did like half of the season there. And then I think we got to Azerbaijan, and I just never played further than that. Yeah. I don't know if it's worth buying, you know, the same game. No, let me not call it the same game, but it kind of is every single year. Like, I need to get my money's worth. If I'm going to spend money on something, I need to get my money's worth. Pardon me. I'm looking forward to see what the new West Somerset Railway looks like, Scott. Thank you for that request, because I actually haven't had a chance to play on it yet. I have heard of the YouTuber Laser J. Yeah, I've watched like 1 or 2 of his videos way back. But he is pretty much killing it right now in the train sim mod scene. He's very creative. Very creative and very entertaining. It's not for me personally, but I can appreciate when, you know, a content creator is doing well, and I think he's doing pretty well. I remember taking this very train to Gatwick Airport from Victoria, and my sisters thought I was a real nerd because, well, I am a real nerd, because as we're going past recognizable places and stations, I'd be like, okay, cool, we're gonna make a slight right here, we're gonna make a slight left here, we're going this speeds. But hey, nerd or no nerds, whatever it is that you do, if you love it, keep doing it. It's the only piece of advice I'll ever give. Wow, my tongue. That's the only piece of advice I'll ever give. Gastox Gaming, hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome back to the stream. I know you were here not too long ago. You're welcome back. Hope you're doing well today. It's a fairly beautiful Saturday afternoon here. It is indeed. What train is better, the Flying Scotsman or the Mallard? I think the Flying Scotsman. I think they both drive pretty similar, but I think the Flying Scotsman has more of a presence. Yeah. It's got a lot more of a story behind it as well. How many seconds by Scott? I mean, to be fair, I don't think it really matters. It could be half a second, it could be 6. As long as he's ahead, he's most likely staying ahead. How's Ferrari doing this season? It's 22 seconds. 22 seconds, Scott. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I saw a video on Instagram recently where it was a couple seasons ago. I don't remember what track it was at. Oh, there we go. Did it just sound this horn? This is the train that Dovetail said they couldn't add to this route because of memory issues. $34? Nah. I'm gonna say you're joking about 22 seconds and then say 34. What? I don't know if you're trolling. But yeah, there was this video I saw recently of Verstappen, and he was basically leading by a good amount. There was about 5 laps left for the race to end, and his team were basically like, listen, just bring it home, basically. Take it easy. You're in first place. You're way ahead of everyone. Just take it easy. Just bring it home. And then the very next lap, he goes and sets the fastest lap. What a guy, man. Wow. If you happen to have your F1 career clash alongside Verstappen's, it is what it is. Just listen, just be content that you get to share the track with him, and that's it. Be happy with whatever position you get. This gameplay i3 also. What do you mean Gastos game, man? I don't understand your question, mate. It's gameplay i3 also. Does Gatwick Airport still look very basic? Yuck. Don't I need to get the mod that makes me go basically anywhere. We've got the EasyJet plates back. That's good to see. Yeah, there we go. EasyJet. Nice. Fairly busy Gatwick this morning. If I'm not mistaken, it's about half an hour to Brighton, and it's 4:25. I'll make time, Scott. I don't think we're gonna have time to do the Flying Scotsman, but I'll make time. I'll make it happen. But then that would definitely be our last request. Let me just edit the box. The days are definitely getting longer, aren't they? Summer's around the corner, boys. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Scott. We're slowly working our way up to 2,000 subscribers, hopefully by the end of the year. Hey, hello Samuel. How you doing, my friend? Welcome back to another stream. Glad to hear you're doing well, my friend. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Although, once again, the clouds are starting to come over. It seems like 1 out of 50, no, let me even say 50% of the time I look out the window and there's clouds. Oh, well, for what, Samuel? What's going on? I haven't been on the forum since yesterday, last night actually, and everything was okay. Unfortunately, Scott, I support United. So now you know what I meant when I said earlier that it's probably better for my mental health that I'm not watching footy right now. 170 is going to be rubbish. Is that like a new announcement, the 170? Or is it the... That's going to be the loco for the Scottish route, right? People have already been going crazy for that. Well, about that anyway. The thing is with River, you have to understand, yeah, the train SimWorld fans are hungry, right? Not only hungry, but passionate. And yes, the last River Games route was good, and people said it was good. But it's almost like the scales now, if they were like this, now they're like this. So we basically need as much bad as they've done over on the good side. So as much as, yes, I may not agree with it as well, I understand it. And it's almost like, imagine you're passionate about something and somebody comes and kind of like ruins it a little bit for you. Yes, there's a whole like nobody's forced to buy anything and da 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 da, but it's not nice, really, what Rivet have, you know, how Rivet have dealt with their customers in the past. But they're turning it around, so if they keep going on their current trajectory, they'll be good. And the only way they can silence those people is by releasing a quality product. Newcastle have been amazing, Scott. I'm not sure about this current season. I don't know how they're doing this season. I've heard they're doing well, but last season, man, listen, I bet heavy on them for my fantasy league, and they came through, man. What Almiron did for me, yeah, I'll never forget that. put him on my fantasy league, on my fantasy team, was game changing. What a legend. Have they been bought by the Arabs yet? Did it ever happen? You're looking smart. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. I wish Speedset was able to slow down the train as much as it speeds up the train. There's just people whinging about Rivet being bad. To be fair, Samuel, there are those people that seem to not have anything better to do but complain. Those people definitely do exist in the forums. Why are we... But I would say, look, realistically, we have pre-release streams. We have ambassadors who will have the products early and stream for us. You know, we'll have an opportunity to see it before we have to buy it. So if people don't like what they see, don't buy it. Which really annoys me because they did well with the 484. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, no, fair point. The 484, they did well with the 484. But like I said, the Benina line came out, what, less than a month ago? That's an incredible route. That's an incredible route. Not perfect, no, but it's incredible. And they brought in announcements. I mean, I think people should just give it a chance. But what can you do? In anything and everything, you're going to have people that are way too optimistic, and you're also going to have people who are always going to be way too pessimistic. So yeah, yes, it happened 2 years ago. Yeah, I said at the time, maybe it hasn't happened yet, but I said at the time that once the Arabs get involved, I think we're going to be looking at another city in a few years' time. Scott, I've got Forza Horizon 5. I used to actually make content on it, but I haven't played that game now since maybe like November. Once I finish like the main Horizon theme, once I finish with the festivals, there wasn't really much for me to do. And also, I don't like how they are forcing us to buy packs, even those who bought the Ultimate Edition of the game, which I have. I feel like that's very unfair. So that's not great either. And Samuel, if we're still here, I think another thing that lets Rivet down a little bit, that causes people to, you know, jump on them, is they're not the greatest communicators. it would be nice if they, you know, Jesper gets added quite a bit on the forum, but it's not very often he responds, and I think that doesn't help the case, because it's almost like, even though he's obviously not hiding, it's almost like he's trying to hide in a way. It kind of gives off that kind of energy. River are good with modeling their trains, but it just sounds like rubber. Yeah, the modeling is amazing. The modeling is amazing. The modeling was good on the 150. It was good. On the I forget the exact name for it. It's quite complicated, but the Arosa line loco was very good. But like you said, yeah, it's just the sounds, man. The Edinburgh to Glasgow is theirs. That's a decent route, apparently, from what I've heard. And the train seems to be modelled very well. I've never heard a single complaint, actually, about the loco. Scott, I'm on Roblox. I guess you're aware that I do Roblox content also, Scott. It's quite limited right now, but I do also do Roblox content. Mostly East Croydon, of which very kindly the developer has hooked me up with enough credits to make 1,000 videos on all the buses there and the tram. And I dabble every now and again on British Railway, on the British Railway server. 385s are awful. Route itself didn't see route. Awful as in like the model is awful. Samuel, or like the sounds. All right, Scott, take care of yourself, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Have a lovely rest of your day, mate. Samuel, I know the sound's got a couple complaints. I've heard nothing about the model itself. Okay, yeah, sounds, yeah. I think we've got a mod on PC now. I might be mistaken. If we're still here by the time I finish running this route, I might load it up quickly and you can just listen to it yourself. But I think there's a sound mod now on PC. Which, yes, it won't fix the problem entirely, and it won't fix it for everyone, of course, but it's something at least, I guess, right? Yeah. I do wish there was a way to port mods. Not that it's impossible, it just needs a bit of time that obviously Dovetail aren't willing to give it. Yeah, I know, man, it sucks. Scott, my name is Adnan. Minus the LWD, and you've got Adnan. That's my name. Okay, the driver just disappeared. Hello? That was interesting. Toilet break, maybe? Maybe he's going to check on his car. Maybe his car's parked somewhere over here. Funky name. Funky name indeed. I think it's the E at the end of my name that throws people off. Because you might end up pronouncing it Adnan, I guess. It's just a bit even more confusing. But yeah, hey. It's not your average name. It's not a name I've come across many times. Although, ironically, saying that, it's not a name I come across usually. But then the head of one of my lessons at uni, his name is literally Adnan. That's his full name. It's Adnan. It's like the thing with buses where you wait for a bus at a bus stop for hours, and then 3 come at a time. It's an Arabic name. Yeah, well, I'm Moroccan. I got a Moroccan background, don't I? So, makes sense. I believe it means traveler, which made sense for a big part of my life. I guess it kind of still does make sense. Were you talking about Roblox? Oh my god. I thought you were just asking me in general. It's my name in Roblox is the same as my YouTube, I think. Scott. Look at my recent Roblox video, and my name will be above my character. I think it's LWD Adnan. It should just be that, without anything else. I haven't got a middle name, no, Samuel. I haven't got a middle name. Something which my wife couldn't believe. Which it's surprising for a lot of people. But no one in my family has a middle name. It's a very strange thing, apparently. I just think that Rivet needs to put more effort into the sounds and not just the modeling. That way it would be infinity times better. Yeah. But I mean, realistically, even Dovetail themselves can't get sounds right most of the time. We might overshoot this. I put the emergency brakes on. Maybe that was overkill. Or maybe I've timed it just right. Or maybe it wasn't enough. We're gonna run just a little bit over. Still got the front doors in though, so all good. They do a bit better than River, I guess, yeah. But then again, you have to look at the frequency of DLC. I feel like there's not much of a difference. Like, what, maybe 80% or 85% of the River DLCs have poor sounds, and maybe 65 to 70 or even a little bit more percent of DTG routes have poor noises. So when you look at it that way, there's actually not a big difference between the two, unfortunately. I wish that they would work with Dovetail, like together, like they would merge with Dovetail, and then the whole company would only take care of modeling and the route, and then Dovetail can focus on physics and the sound only. I think if they were two separate focuses put together, we'd have a banger of a route. I really think we'd honestly have a heck of a route on our hands. Well, that's just TSW. I like TS Classic better. Yeah, but then is it TS Classic modless? Because for what it's worth, Armstrong Powerhouse and the like pretty much are a saving grace for Dovetail. And as much as, yeah, we've got free reign for the editor and a million routes, it's those sort of mods that are keeping TSC alive. It's TS like that, loads of mods, yeah, 100. That's the thing though. You still have to depend on mods. And I mean, that's what a lot of people tend to forget with Train Sim Classic, is that it's the mods that are available, graphics, sounds, that are keeping it alive. And obviously, you know, very passionate third parties as well. Jesus, we put Dovetail in charge, bro. Yeah. At the end of the day, though, should have put Just Trains in charge altogether. But you know what? That's the thing, though, right? Just Trains obviously operate amazingly as the small studio they are. As frustrating as Dovetail are, it just comes down to them being a business and prioritizing profit. And you can have passionate people on the team, in management, in developer positions, but ultimately they're all gonna have one goal. And obviously they're very restrictive with their time frames, whereas maybe Just Trains, River, etc. aren't as tight. So although they also are businesses, maybe they have a bit more flexibility in that their studios are smaller, they're a bit more relaxed with time frames. There are a lot of things that come into play. But I've been saying this. Just Trains had all the time in the world and took their time and put in all this passion for an incredible route. We are not going to see if that paid off for them until we see what they come up with next. And I'm keeping that very much in the forefront of my mind, that yes, they put out an amazing route, but did it work for them? Did that business model work for them? And yeah, like I said, the only thing I think that will show us that, or that will show us the answer, will be in the next product. Is it going to be more of a rushed project? Are we going to see the same level of quality? Are we going to see the same level of passion? And if we don't, then we know that, okay, maybe Blackpool to Preston wasn't as profitable for them as a business as it otherwise could have been. And on the other hand, if they release another quality route with as much effort, as much passion put into it, that then raises the question to Dovetail that says, hey, they were able to do it and sustain themselves. Why can't you guys do it? We've had all this nonsense about time frames, and like I said, right now this timetable that I'm running on Brighton Mainline has the Class 700 running alongside it. It's been brought in with a mod. As you can see, we haven't encountered any crashes. We've run from Victoria at rush hour, and we are one stop away from Brighton. We haven't had a single crash, no memory issues, no frame rate issues. So what's the real reason for not being able to introduce the 700 into this route officially? And I really feel like they are only withholding the editor. I don't feel like it's an unintentional thing. I think the editor's being held back because even with just a basic level of it, we've seen what people have been able to do. So how much more now if everyone had free reign to use the tools as they pleased? We see some things I think that Dovetail really don't want us to see. I'll put it that way. Only thing left is hope for the 170. Hope. I think that's the motto when it comes to Dovetail. Just hope. Hope that it's going to be good. Hope that it's going to come on time. Hope that there's not going to be many bugs. Hope that there's going to be a sale. Hope that we're not going to see TSW 5 this year. Hope, 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 hope indeed, Samuel. That's really what it comes down to. And even then, when the product does come out, we end up all asking ourselves, why did we have so much hope? Why did we believe that it was going to be different this time? And even if it will be bad, it is what it is. If you're not paying for it. If you're not going to pay for the product. But I feel like if you end up paying for it, maybe you deserve a little bit more. Welcome back, that locomotive guy. Pardon me. Oh yeah, so Samuel, I checked real-time train to see what's going on at Barking, and it's so boring. It's terrible. So boring. There's a couple stream rail tours that left Euston and King's Cross this morning. No chance I would have made them, but I looked at the ticket prices and I thought to myself, yeah, even if I knew about them ahead of time, whoo, it's tough. Yes, Brighton main line, yeah. We do also have East Coastway though, but this is going to be the last route for today. I think East Coastway was the first ever DLC I bought, aside from obviously the routes that came with Train Sim World 2. And I never looked back. I think I completed the journey mode twice. Thank you very much, SCB Janine. I hope I've pronounced your name correctly for the follow. First route I ever bought was West Cornwall, the largest mistake I ever made. Ouch. Ouch. You'd hate to see it. I am so sorry. So sorry. That's terrible. At least they've tried to spice it up somewhat. You really didn't want to coast down to 20, did it? I know, but it's like, you know, when it's almost like when someone's grieving and you're like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. It's like, I'm sorry for the loss that you, when you parted with your hard-earned cash. That's what I'm sorry for. An interesting idea would be to fuse East Coastway. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, as you can imagine, Locomotive Guy, it's been requested so many times to dovetail. But apparently it's just not possible. I mean, the thing is though, realistically, if we, for example, now we've come in, we load out of Brighton Mainline onto East Coastway and just continue. Like, all that's really separating us out technically is a loading screen. So you can sort of circumvent it, but it's not going to be the same. Also, what would it be like performance-wise, man? What would it be like performance-wise? They can say you don't have to go through the menu. Yeah. I guess they could even, like, for example, have you, like, walk. There could be, like, some sort of, like, an objective marker sort of thing, where you walk into, and then it automatically loads. Why are these guys stuck at the gates? They haven't got their Oyster cards. Or their tickets, I should say. Yeah, so you walk into the objective marker, and it automatically loads East Coastway for you, so you don't have to navigate through all the menus. West Coastway. What would that consist of, Samuel? I know that's been requested a couple times. Right, so are we just gonna sit here or what? This is where God mode comes in. Boom, boom, boom. Objectives and complete current objective. And then you're not waiting around for no reason whatsoever. Absolutely love God mode. It's a godsend. No pun intended. So yeah. Scott seems to have been gone, so I'm not going to bother too much with West Somerset Railways. 2 minutes to 5. So I think we'll call it there for today. We will next be live on Monday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. UK time. That's GMT. Servant mode. I feel like servant mode is just TSW on console in general. So I do like that one though, servant mode. But yeah, unfortunately we didn't get to play around with our announcements. So let me give you guys a little tease, I guess. So I've only installed a few, but so far, like East Coastway, for example, we've got this.
Welcome aboard the Southern Service to, or via Eastbourne. Calling at.
Hold on, is it playing through my microphone? It's playing through my microphone as well. Hold on a second. Where's the settings? Just give me like a settings thing. Right, here we go. Okay, here we are. Playback, and then put it there, so that it won't use my microphone. Okay. That should be set now. So yeah, so that's for East Coastways, and say for something, for example, Glossop Line, we've got this.
Welcome aboard this Northern Service to Manchester Piccadilly. We will be calling at Dinting, Broadbottom, Hattersley, Godley, Newton for Hyde.
So basically just that. For I think what did I count it earlier? Like 12 routes or something like that. So yeah, hopefully maybe next week on Monday, next stream, we'll be able to play around with that and put it to use. I might make some content out of it as well. Yeah, they would both be separate routes. However, the only thing separating is the objective. Marco, you mentioned how all trains would be the same. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think they've got the what's that helper loco? Hold on a second. This one. I forgot the name of it. Where is it? It's a cute little cutie patootie. Not the class 20. The class 08. I don't think we've got the class 08 or the 09 in East Coastway. I mean, I can't even pick it. I'm not even seeing Brighton Mainland here, but I'm certain it's on the Brighton Mainland. Maybe it's just undrivable. Yeah, Welsh routes, man. Welsh routes have been they've been increasingly requested. I think it's really a matter of time before we start seeing Welsh routes. They're very, very scenic. But yeah, I am gonna leave it there for today. Thank you very much, everyone who's been a part. Samuel, Locomotive Guy, Scott, and I forgot the name. Hayasmat. Thank you all for being present today. It's been a pleasure entertaining you guys. It's been a pleasure having a conversation. Again, hopefully I'll see you guys next stream, 2 p.m. on Monday, UK time. Thank you, Samuel. But yeah, so then hopefully we'll catch you guys then. But for today, I will bid you guys farewell and have a happy and great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are, or just have a good rest of your day, basically. Stay safe, look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you lot on Monday. Peace.